everyone. Welcome back to Susan Dawn Spiritual Connections. Welcome to a brand new Sacred Union Energy update. Before we get into the reading itself today, I want to share a little bit about where we've been, what's been created, and where we're going next. And if you have been around on my socials and you've been paying attention to the newsletter and such, we've been sharing little bits and pieces, but I want to share even more about what has been created here. Over the past 6 months, we have been really overhauling Susan Dawn Spiritual Connections, and you can see that in the playlist here on YouTube. Everything is nice and organized. We've updated all of our thumbnails, so you can really clearly see what each reading or channeling is all about. And you can really navigate to the timeless readings and channelings that might make the most sense to you, that might call to you at this time in your journey. And remember, even past readings, because these energies are cyclical and because these energies are really transforming and moving us into new directions, some of the energies from the past couple of years might even resonate even now, especially when it comes to Sacred Union. So take the messages as they resonate for you and take the readings as they call to you. We've also been overhauling our website. We have new features, including our Ascension Connections portal, which is a new sacred space on our website. It's been there for a couple of years now, but we've overhauled it so that you have a free resource library, you have a free light language library, all of our sacred channelings are in there, we have all of our light language transmissions in there, packages in there, so that you have both channelings and light language transmissions for whatever it is that you might be experiencing on your journey. We have meditations, transmissions, we have workshops, we have courses, we have a little bit of everything. And those are features and services and products that we have been building up over the past couple of years, but it's now in one place. And I'm so excited because it feels like a breath of fresh air for me. It feels very cohesive. It feels a lot less scattered, and it allows us to really do what we love to do, which is getting back to the channeling. But it takes a little bit of a different mindset. It takes a little bit of a different energy to be creating all of that and building that sacred container. And that's what I really wanted to do. I wanted to build a sacred container for those of us who really want to go deep. It's not just about the readings and constantly consuming the readings and checking in and seeing what's going on, but really about checking with ourselves and seeing how are we transforming, how are we growing, how are we evolving. And so Susan Dawn Spiritual Connections has evolved as I've evolved and as the community has evolved. And so I'm really excited to announce the new sacred membership that we have built for those who do want to go deeper than our traditional readings, in a 3-level membership that you can choose from called Ascension Connections Sacred Membership. And there are 3 levels. The first level is called Ascension Essentials. It's basically a self-study, content-driven level with workshops, meditations, sacred channelings, and special support readings. All of that is going into that level 1 container. We have a second level, which is for those of you who want more of a community support. I know what it's like on this journey and how important it is to have that community support. And we have an amazing community here. I've seen it in how you interact with each other in the workshops, in the channeling and chats, and that's exactly what we're bringing to Ascension Accelerator Plus. Ascension Accelerator Plus, like I said, is our community-focused level 2, which includes everything from level 1, plus bi-monthly calls where we'll meet, we'll have group discussions, channeling and chats, and there's also an opportunity for group coaching. So if you are finding yourself struggling with something, you can get into the hot seat and we can encourage, support, and work through, create breakthroughs for whatever it is that you're experiencing along your journey. I have experienced that in my one-to-one client sessions. I've experienced that in the workshops we have done together. I've experienced facilitating that in group discussions outside of these services that I've offered in workshops. And so I'm really excited to be bringing that. We also have a private Facebook group so that you can feel free to feel safe and secure to allow yourself to build that community. Like I said, you guys are the most amazing community I could ever experience, and I really wanted to bring a really safe and sacred space for you to dive deep into your journeys, into your journey of transformation, not just your journey of sacred union and your journey of ascension, but for your life as well. Your ascension journey really is not just for your relationship. It is for your life. It is for who you are. And what I really encourage is that soul growth, is that transformation. And I have seen that in how you have grown. You have emailed me and sent me messages about new opportunities, new versions of yourself. You're loving yourself more, you're choosing yourself more, you're entering into conscious relationships, or you are engaging with your sacred partner in higher conscious relationships. That's because of who you are. That's because of how you have grown. And that's what this journey is all about. And so we want to facilitate more of that transformation, more of that breakthroughs, and more of that higher level understanding of what this journey is really about. That's really why I wanted to create the sacred membership. And then for those who are ready for it and wanting to go even deeper into an immersive experience, I'm offering the Unity Code Intensive, which is a one-to-one weekly coaching package. It includes everything from levels 1 and 2, so you get all the content, all the community, plus weekly one-to-one with me and a private forum, a messaging forum, so that even if we're not having a coaching session, you can always reach out to me, and we'll text back and forth, and you'll have that opportunity for a revelatory transformation within yourself over 3, 6, or 12 months. So all the information is available now through the Ascension Connections portal. You can make sure that you check it out. I will put the link in the description box, but I am so excited because depth is what I'm all about. Breakthrough is what I'm all about. Transformation is what I'm all about. And that's what this journey is. That's what Ascension is. That's what the sacred union path of Ascension is. Again, this has been coming through. It is not just about the relationship. It's the relationship that you have with yourself. It's the relationship that you have with the world around you. It's the relationship that you have with God, the relationship that you have with your friends, your family, the relationship that you have with money. It is all interconnected. This journey is one of interconnection. It is one that is helping us understand and bridge division, bridge separation, to realize unity consciousness. And unity consciousness is the interconnectedness of all things. And so we're going to be diving deeper into these topics within the sacred container, where I will be very unfiltered. I will be very, very going deep dives into this topic, or into these topics. And I'm so excited to get back into the channeling, get back into the routine, and begin to really explore these deeper with you. You have seen how deep we go in the sacred channelings, in the teachings that we do here, in the regular readings. But we're gonna be picking back up on that and going deeper within that sacred container of the membership as well. But don't worry, if you're not ready to join the membership, we're still gonna be having check-ins, updates, readings here on the channel for free. You know how I always like to give something away. So this is going to be our regular Sacred Union energy updates. We'll have Ascension energy updates, and we'll have Soul Path readings as well. We're going to start getting back into a regular schedule for channelings and readings and energy updates. And we have a few more surprises up our sleeves as well as we get back into this routine. But like I said, this membership is going to be a more cohesive, sacred container in which we can really allow ourselves to go deep with not only the content and the channelings and the teachings, but with our community support, supporting each other, and guiding each other through the shared journey, which is truly what it is. It is a collective journey, and having community is so vitally important. I've realized that along my own ascension. I would not be where I am without my soul sisters and brothers, and without this community. And so it is a place where we can honor each other, hold space for each other, love and accept each other, just in that energy of unity. So I'm very excited, and if you want to check it out, for September only, it is my birthday month, so for September only, we are doing a discount. So for the first month, it's about $10 off for each of the tiers, the Ascension Essentials and Ascension Accelerator Plus. So you can check it out and see how you like it. And it's a recurring membership, so utilize it as you feel called to, and see how it works for you. Okay, so I'm just man, relieved. When I say it was 6 months of work, it was 6 months of work. And there were little bits and pieces that were going on in the background that I was putting into place so that all of this could come together. And, it's just like this journey. People aren't going to see the work that you put in. People are only going to see the surface level of what's presented, right? But there's so much that goes on underneath the surface. As you're growing, as you're changing, as you are going through your ascension, there's so much underneath the surface. There are beliefs that are changing, there are patterns that are changing, there are habits that are changing, there are traumas that are healing. There's so much that's going on underneath the surface, but people don't see underneath the surface, right? It's just the metaphor of my business. You won't ever see everything it took to create this next level, and you're not supposed to. People aren't supposed to see all of the work it takes to change who you are, to grow, to heal. It's about who you're becoming. They don't have to see all the nuts and the bolts. They just have to feel the new energy. Who are you embodying? How have you evolved? How have you grown? How have you expanded? That's what it's about. It's about that expansion. And so it's a really good metaphor. There's a lot of work, and that's why we've been kind of absent, so to speak, because like I said, it's a different energy, a different kind of creation energy. Everything was intuitively built and intuitively designed, but it takes a very different energy to do all the nuts and the bolts of that work. It was a very masculine energy, which is very interesting, where I was holding my own, trusting my inner feminine, my feminine energy to guide me intuitively as far as what I was creating, but it was a very masculine energy that was actually doing the building. The feminine has a blueprint, and the masculine is the one that is putting all the nuts and bolts. So it's like the house. I always use this analogy. The feminine has the blueprint of the house and designs the house, creates the house in her vision, and the masculine is the one that is putting all the nuts and nails and bolts into place and putting on the roof and the walls and all that stuff. That's exactly what we've been doing here, and that's exactly what you're doing on your own ascension journey, is you are creating your life step by step, one by one, in that harmony of your inner union, in that harmony of your feminine and your masculine. So where are you doing that in your own life? Maybe it's a job, maybe it's relationships, maybe it's a project or a business. What is it that you're doing in your own life that is seeing the harmonization of the masculine and the feminine? And where is that oneness being experienced in your actual physical world? Just a question for your own reflection. Okay, let's get into the reading. So some stuff is happening astrologically. We have ended or are ending Mercury retrograde. We are in the shadow period. There's a shadow period 2 weeks before Mercury retrograde and a shadow period 2 weeks after, so we'll still feel the residual effects of that Mercury retrograde. But we have Uranus retrograde September 1st to January 30th now. And that is all about expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected. But don't think of things as doom and gloom. We don't think of things as doom and gloom around here. We look at astrologically important events as support systems, because astrology is supposed to be supporting us. And when we're in alignment with our souls, with ourselves, we're in alignment with the stars. When we're in alignment, that's when astrologically these cosmic events are supporting us. That's when we're being supported. It's when we're in alignment. You feel that support. And so expect the unexpected. It could be sudden conversation, sudden windfall, sudden meetings, sudden whatever. Expect the unexpected. Don't let it shake you up. Don't let it bring you into lower vibrations, lower frequencies. Allow yourself to be open to every possibility that comes in. Let yourself be excited too, is an energy that I'm getting. Let yourself be excited. Let yourself be excited by new opportunities. Let yourself be excited by the unexpected. Don't fear the unexpected. Don't fear the change. That's just the ego that is trying to hold on to old patterns and versions of yourself and versions of your life or versions of your journey. Allow yourself to embrace the changes that possibility brings. So we're going to be breaking free from old templates with that expect the unexpected. Plus we have Pluto retrograde again. So this is especially impacting the cardinal signs, Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. I've talked about this ad nauseum, especially in the year ahead reading, because I have three of the 4 cardinal signs in my chart, and I have definitely seen how this has impacted me. Pluto has been in the sign of Capricorn since 2008. That's when I had my first spiritual awakening. I have talked about France before. That's when I had my first spiritual awakening. I talked about it in my book. And then through that, I had multiple spiritual awakenings. I had an awakening with Lyme disease. I had the awakening to my ascension journey with my divine masculine, the ascension journey, the activations, the twin flame journey, all of that. So 2008 until now has been a huge 15-year cycle. And if you go back to 2008, where were you then versus where are you now? And can you see that cycle, how you have grown more into yourself, more into who you are meant to be, more into your authentic soul self? Can you see that? Can you see that change? Can you see that growth? Because that is what Pluto is all about. Pluto is all about the transformation. Pluto is the underworld. It is the regeneration. It is the rebirth. And especially on this ascension journey, we have definitely gone through this rebirth, haven't we? So Pluto has been in the sign of Capricorn. It moved briefly this year into the sign of Aquarius, where it's all about innovation. It's all about humanitarianism. It's all about the new. And that is what essentially we've been doing here. The new, this evolution of my own business is a perfect example of that. And when I have an astrologist that I see regularly. When I look at my chart, it is exactly on track with what we're supposed to be doing. Going deeper into spirituality, going deeper into these concepts, evolving as we have grown, as we ourselves have evolved, the business evolving. So it is right on track. With that Aquarius energy, that Pluto and Aquarius energy. However, what's happening is Pluto is retrograding back into the sign of Capricorn for a brief spell until November, and then it's going to move back into the sign of Aquarius for the next 20 years. So if you're feeling feral, if you are feeling fiery, if you are feeling like you are in your villain era, and I've joked with my friends that my villain era is just no more people pleasing, no more abandoning myself. You know, the door is open, you can come and go as you please, but no standing in the doorway, that kind of thing. That is this Pluto energy. That is Pluto in Capricorn. It's clearing out any of that the last vestiges of where you were holding yourself back from being fully you. And man, I can see that in myself, especially the past 2 years. I have just flourished in who I truly am, really claimed who I truly am, and there's this empowered energy. And that comes naturally from the journey, this journey of ascension, this journey of sacred union. Sacred union is one of growth, and your counterpart is a catalyst for that growth. So it's a natural effect of the journey, but Pluto again is supporting that. This Pluto retrograde is going to again clear out anything that you are still holding on to of the past version of yourself that cannot serve you anymore, does not serve you anymore, that you can't carry with you. And that's all the places where you rejected yourself, neglected yourself, abandoned yourself, etc. So I myself am still continuing to do some tweaking, especially on the health side of things. There are some habits and routines that I want to change, that I want to put into place. But man, I am just in an energy of claiming my own authority again, claiming my own empowerment, and really embracing that and loving that about myself. And it's just that Aries moon in me is just lighting up, let me tell you. So you might be feeling that. You might be feeling the effects of that. Embrace that, because that is you. That is your authentic self that is trying to shine without the ego or the past that is holding you back. So there might be some releasing, there might be some shifting, there might be some more regenerative rebirth going on. But then as you come out of it in November, especially towards the end of the year, there is going to be just huge shifts coming up, and it's never ending. It feels like the shifts, it feels like it's never ending. But again, don't look at it like you might have in the past, like, oh my god, am I done? You have shifted in your journey where the shifts are supporting you because you're in alignment with your soul. And if you're not in alignment with your soul, if you're still struggling, then that's where our membership is going to support you, because we've been through it. We've been through it. This community has been through it. And so let us support you in that. Whether in the comments here, in the free readings, or in the membership itself, we are here to support you, having been through it ourselves. And you can look at the evolution of our channel here on YouTube for how we ourselves, me, Susan, has grown in that evolution as well. When I say I've been through it, my whole YouTube channel is documentation of having been through it. So you can go ahead and check out whatever reading you would like, to see what messages might be there for you, and also just to see, how we have navigated it. That might help you facilitate the navigation of your own journey. Okay, so all that being said, there's a lot that is happening cosmically, but that cosmic energy is meant to support us. It's meant to support our journey. And so that's where we have to allow ourselves to trust our path as well. All right, let's see what is going on for the Divine Masculine, the Divine Feminine, and the Union energies. As always, remember to take this for your inner masculine and inner feminine, take this for your counterpart connection, and for the global energies as a whole, because as we're experiencing the Sacred Union Path of Ascension individually within our own personal lives, this is actually happening on a global landscape as well. You can see this in the actual division that we're seeing. This is the shift. We're seeing a lot of division, we're seeing a lot of destruction, but it's that the creation energy that's coming in. You can't have creation without a destruction. It's Kali Ma. It's just the circle of life. You cannot have a new creation without the destruction of the old. And we're seeing it on a grander scale. And so the way that I teach, the way that I've always been told and channeled, is to hold that light. That is our job, to be able to hold that higher vibration of love and patience, compassion, and unity. That is what it's all about. It's about holding that space and holding that light, because especially if you have been on the Sacred Union Path of Ascension for a while, if you've been doing your inner work, and if you have come to this place where you're in a new phase of your journey, what I call the higher heart ascension, where you are feeling that peace, where you might feel triggered, you might have some challenges, you might have some upsets, but you're able to easily transmute it back to that peace. And I'm talking within hours, within days, that kind of thing, where you're not sinking into that dense heaviness, you're not letting that dense heaviness of the collective or of the world affect you. Holding that space, holding that light, is what is actually going to help the world. That your energy, the more people who hold that higher frequency, it's going to have a ripple effect. Your energy, you can see this in your own life. There are going to be instances in your physical life where you see this, where your energy of peace, compassion, love, understanding, unity is impacting those around you. This could be your family members, this could be your friends, this could be your divine counterpart. This could be anybody around you, co-workers, where you see how your own energy is impacting others. That's the ripple effect. And imagine if the more people experience that feeling of peace, that feeling of compassion, that feeling of patience, that feeling of love, right? It's a ripple effect. We're lighting candles for each other in the darkness that this world can sometimes be. And your job is to keep that flame burning. And that flame is love. That flame is unity. That flame is oneness. So the more that you are holding that energy in this higher heart ascension, you're actually having an impact. And everybody can feel that energy, and you're leading by example. That's what embodiment is. You're leading by example. It's not necessarily anything specific you have to do or not do. It is your energy itself. Your energy itself, however you express that in your life. Your job, your hobbies, your passions, your relationships, however you express that, is the energy of love. And that is what the Sacred Union Ascension teaches us. It is not about the relationship with our counterparts. That is an extension, that is an expression of the union that we hold within. That is what we teach here. That is what we teach in the Unity Code. That is what it's all about. It is about the love, the unconditional love. Yes, it's expressed in relationship or having a family or building a business together, whatever it is that you want with your counterpart. Whatever kind of relationship that you want to have with your counterpart, it will be expressed in that. With your sacred partner, soulmate, whatever you call it, whatever you call your sacred partner that you have been on this journey with, whatever you call that energy, it is about the energy that you hold within that is then reflected in everything around you, your relationship with money, your relationship with your family, your relationship with your job. It's then impacted. Those things are impacted by your energy. And the more people who hold that energy of love and oneness and compassion and patience, again, and unity and all these non-judgmental, these accepting energies, these higher frequency energies, that's how we change the world. That in and of itself is how we create a new world. That's what it's all about. So, I forget why I got off on that tangent. But when we're looking at the global collective, we can see it. We can see the masculine and the feminine energy at play, and how the masculine and feminine energy are almost like warring with each other. And that's where we're bringing it into union. That's your own individual ascension journey, your sacred union journey, right? You've been warring with the masculine and the feminine energy within yourself, and you're realizing there's no separation. If you're warring, so to speak, with your counterpart, if there are upsets and triggers, etc., with your counterpart, your physical counterpart, like your sacred partner I'm talking about now, if you're in conflict or in upset or in triggers or whatever with your counterpart and friction in some way, it's because there is a sense of separation. There is no separation. And you realize that, you understand that energetically, that comes from within you. You heal the separation within you. Okay, now let's get into it. Okay, we go deeper into those teachings, like I said, in the membership, in these sacred channelings, in my book. We have a ton of resources now to refer to, which I feel is awesome. I'm so excited for that. Now I don't have to repeat myself 1,000 times. Okay, let's see what's going on for the masculine right now. Wow. Oh, okay. We have Door to Romance and Blossoming Abundance, and I feel like we got something similar in the last Sacred Union Energy update. There is a new love that is blooming, and it's not that it's new, it's actually ancient is what I've heard, but it was blocked. That love was blocked, that heart chakra was blocked, and now there's it's like a gateway has opened up for the Divine Masculine, where they're beginning to feel that love. Divine Feminines, you might have either received communication or be in indirect communication or be receiving a lot energetically. Depends on where you are in the journey. But there's movement with counterparts, and has been for the majority of the summer. I haven't shared a whole lot about my own experiences because there's not a lot to share. However, I have had movement in my journey with regards to other people reaching out to me with regards to my counterpart, whether it was his parents or whether it was his daughter, whether it was his ex, his daughter's mother. Having those experiences where if you were with me over the past couple of years, I had basically been hands off during my so-called separation. But that separation was actually the greatest gift that could have ever been given to me. I had spent the majority of my relationship or my ascension journey with my counterpart in physical proximity. We lived together at one point. But sometimes what happens is the energy is so much that you have to go to your separate corners. And that's where separation is. You're still in the boxing ring together, but you're in kind of like your separate corners. You have to go through an individual ascension process so that you can keep coming together in more harmony and more peace, recognizing that love. That individual ascension process is really crucial. It's really important. I talk about that more in the Unity Code. So for myself, it was really helpful because it allowed me to really understand that there is no separation. to really understand through the separation that separation doesn't exist, because I would still feel him. I would still connect with him, not from a wanting to, but just because that was what was happening. And even though I was very hands off, either himself or people around him kept coming back into my life. It was either through dreams or through, again, contact from people in his life that were reaching out to me. That's what we're trying to say, is that allow yourself to let the journey unfold. You don't have to do anything as a divine feminine. You don't have to force anything. Your job is to love your journey. Your job is to follow your path, and your counterpart will meet you there naturally. You don't have to keep checking in. Allow yourself to trust in the process of the sacred union. Allow yourself to trust in yourself. Allow yourself to trust in your inner masculine. Your inner masculine is your external masculine. If you're not holding yourself in the container of trusting in the safety and security of your own inner masculine, you're still seeking externally for something, and that's what's actually creating the resistance and pushing your counterpart away. If you're finding that wholeness and that oneness within yourself, then you're in union, and the union is what draws you both together. So that's what I feel like is happening here for the divine masculine. I feel like you being in that energy of love and oneness and union, where you're focused on yourself, your life, your family, your friends, the things that bring you joy. You're in this higher energy, and you're maintaining that higher energy because you've been doing the inner work and clearing out any of those blocks to that higher energy, or any of those blocks to your authentic self, which is that higher energy. Then it's on the masculine side, it's helping to clear and transmute for him as well. And he's going through his own ascension process, where he's having his own heart expansions. He's having his own heart openings. And with the blossoming abundance card, what I'm getting is there's a really abundant energy that's coming through for him. Let me see how I can articulate this. In the past, the masculine really deals with a lot of shame and a lot of worth issues. We've been channeling that for years. A lot of shame and a lot of worth issues. A lot of lack, a lot of victimhood energy. The last Sacred Union energy update really explained this very well, I believe. I can't remember it exactly, but they're calling me to it. So I'll put a link in the description box for you guys to refer back to it. A lot of lack energy, a lot of victimhood. They've been coming out of that over the past several months. Going through their own transformation, going through their own rebirth, going through their own ascension. And I feel like what's happening now is the heart is really opening up, and they're feeling the abundance. And I'm not talking about physical abundance. I'm not talking about like monetary abundance, like money. I'm talking about gratitude. I'm talking about self-worth. I'm talking about love for oneself. Feeling like, man, I belong here. Man, I'm worthy of this world. It's bringing me to tears. This is a masculine who did not believe in themselves. This is a masculine, the bottom of the deck they just called me to. This is a masculine who fought with themselves. And because they were fighting with themselves, they fought with everyone around them. Maybe even you, divine feminine, maybe even this connection, guarded themselves, held themselves back. This is a masculine that didn't believe in themselves at all, and that could have come from childhood, past lifetimes, upbringing, conditioning, trauma, their experiences, but it was deeply embedded within them, that lack, that unworthiness, that victimhood, that scarcity, that shame. But now they're beginning this process, I'm hearing, of self-forgiveness. They're beginning to forgive themselves. And that forgiveness is actually opening up the heart center. And there's a deep connection to themselves now. We had channeled a couple of months ago, maybe even last year, the heart and the mind coming online, coming into balance. And that's exactly what has begun this ascension process for the masculine, where they have been very stuck in their mind, in their ego, in their logic, in their rationale. Now they're understanding the feminine energy of intuition, the feminine energy of flow, the feminine energy of even unconditional love, and they're connecting that to their heart space. That's where the balance is. That's where the union is. You need both, the masculine and the feminine, the flow and the action. You need the logical, rational of the mind with the intuitive nature of belief and energy. because that's how you create. You create with both, in balance. And now they're learning how to balance the two. Just seeing a line come from the what is that, the crown chakra into the heart space, and coming into balance with all the chakras now. So this energy, coming back to this, there is just a heart expansion that is opening, and I feel like there's a softening towards the feminine, where they might have been very guarded in this hostile energy towards the feminine. I feel like there's a softening that's happening here. And remember, romance is an energy. It's how you express love. And so it doesn't feel like romance is in... well, okay, I'm going to take that back. I was going to say it doesn't feel like romance is in I want to take her out on dates and buy her flowers and do this. I take it back only because I do feel like the masculine wants to give to the feminine now. But it's because of that energy of unconditional love that they're feeling. It's that energy of just pure love that they're feeling, that softening energy. So I do feel like they want to give to the feminine, and it might look like a number of different ways. It might look like maybe they want to provide, they want to support, they want to maybe buy flowers or take you out on a date. But it doesn't have to be those strictly human things. This is an energy here that we're talking about, and it could express itself in a number of different ways. So I feel like they want to give to the feminine where they weren't able to give, or they didn't have the capacity to give to her before. They want to be that presence in your life. They want to be that stable energy. They want to be what they couldn't be for you before. And they want to give to you what they couldn't give to you before. That's this energy of romance. It is, they want to express that love where they held themselves back. Especially for those of you who might have been friend zoned. Especially for those of you where they might have had like a hand up, like a guard up. There's this, again, this heart opening that's happening. And it's because they're in this process of really learning how to love and appreciate themselves. And I'm also hearing that they're seeing themselves through your eyes. You've always held that unconditional love. And because you were shining so brightly and loving them so fiercely, you actually shone a light on their shadows, and that activated their victimhood, that activated their lack, that activated their shame, that activated their sense of self-worth, right? But it's all shadow that had to be brought to the awareness for healing, for clearing. And that's too where they pushed you away, because they weren't used to that unconditional love. They weren't used to that light being shown on them. And it was deeply uncomfortable, deeply, deeply painful. But now what's happening is, because they've been going through this ascension process, this healing process, this rebirth process is what it truly is, there's a softening, there's an understanding. And that understanding, that I feel very strongly like they're understanding what you were always trying to say to them. They're understanding what you were always trying to show to them. Again, if you're in an energy of trying to force or manipulate to be like, you know, you're my twin flame, you're this, you're that, it's going to repel. Nobody is going to be able to receive what they're not ready for. And the divine masculine was not ready for that. But through their own journey, the seed that you planted by your love, by who you are, just by being who you are, again, leadership by example, right? Just by embodying the divine feminine essence, the divine masculine is now opening up to that. That's why it's so important for you to focus your energy on you, rather than focusing your energy on them, because that just repels the energy. That just repels the two. It's like magnets, right? It just repels. To bring you closer together, you embody your authenticity, and that is so bright for the divine masculine. And it's not forcing them, it's not putting pressure on them, it's not feeling forced for them. It's just happening as a natural reoccurrence, and that's where there's just so much love that's outpouring for you, and appreciation that's outpouring for you. It's like what I'm hearing is, thank you for letting me have my time. I might have had a tumble, but thank you for holding space for me in this love that I know you still have for me. Separation is not separation. You are never separate. You are one with your counterpart. We really have to start to understand this and feel this and embody this. And if you are in a physical separation and you're feeling it like separation, keep looking where you are feeling unfulfilled, or you're not feeling that wholeness within yourself. You're not feeling that union within yourself. Keep looking where the holes are. Keep looking where the cracks are. Keep looking at what your counterpart is trying to show you about continuing to honor yourself, continuing to fill yourself up. Where you're still looking externally, keep reflecting inwards, because that is how you create that union within yourself, and that's where you create that union with your counterpart as well. Okay, interesting. Let's see what's going on for the divine feminine. I like that we start with the divine masculine, because I feel like there's a lot that comes forward from the divine feminine as well within the masculine reading. So I always like that we start there. Divine feminine, let's see what's going on with you. We have caring connections and storm warning. This is expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected. Now, this is what we were saying with that Uranus retrograde. Don't look at the storm warning and be like, oh my God, tower moments, doom and gloom. What are tower moments? Tower moments are things that shake us up, that need to be shaken up in order to break us through to the next level. Tower moments create revelations. Tower moments create transformations, right? On the other side of what we were just saying about Kalima, on the other side of destruction is creation. You can't have one without the other. And so I know immediately when we see this, we're like, oh my gosh, tower moments, stormy weather, friction, chaos, pain, whatever. That's all past programming. Look at this as opportunities. This is where I feel like there's movement coming in. It might be communication. It might be sudden meetups. It might be sudden clarity, understanding. It's gonna approach everybody in a little bit of a different way, or everybody's going to experience it in a little bit of a different way. It really just depends on your journey and on your situation. But again, your job with the Angel of Strength at the bottom of the deck is to hold that space, hold the light. You know how far you have come. I've said this a million times over the past couple of years. You know who you are now. You know how far you have come. You are now recognizing yourself as an empowered being, so that nothing can shake you. And even if it does shake you, it's okay. It's okay. Just allow yourself to acknowledge that and work through it. You're human. Things are going to shake us up. Things are going to upset us. We're going to have triggers, right? We're going to have towers. But come back to that connection within yourself. Come back to that connection with God. Come back to recognizing yourself. That's why it's so important to be connected to yourself. Your connection to yourself is the crux and the hallmark of this ascension journey. That's where your inner union is. Your inner union is that stability, is that balance, is that deep-seated, unshakable truth of yourself. Unshakable. Unshakable. I feel like that's like Oscar from The Office. I forget what it is that he says, but unshakable. Spirit's being goofy now. Unshakable truth of yourself. And I feel like Spirit's kind of making it lighthearted, because the energy can sometimes feel heavy, right? But this journey is not meant to be heavy. This journey is meant to bring us home to ourselves. This journey is meant to be about joy and love and peace. And if you're still feeling that heaviness, then maybe that is the tower that's coming through to shake that up and break you through to a new level of consciousness, a new level of understanding of what this journey is about, what your union is about, what your connection is about, what you are about. So allow for that change, allow for that transformation. And remember that you are so divinely supported. You are supported in the spirit realms. You are supported in this world. You are so divinely supported. That is where you can trust. So I feel like, divine feminines, there are some shakeups. Expect the unexpected. There's some unexpected. This doesn't feel like it's happening right now. This actually feels like this is what's coming in. And I feel like this is like that Uranus energy. It might even be like that Pluto retrograde energy. But there's a lot happening cosmically that is this expect the unexpected. That is meant to shake us up. That is meant to shake us out of the old version of ourselves. And so I feel like this is going to be a process, divine feminine, of connections. You might actually even be meeting new connections. This could be soul family, soul tribe. This could be more conscious masculines. It doesn't have to be a romantic energy. We've talked about that ad nauseum in the soulmate path readings, and how you might be meeting again, it doesn't have to be romantic connections, but you're meeting conscious masculines, divine masculines, maybe not your divine masculine, but you're meeting divine masculines to reflect to you how you have grown and become the divine feminine, the conscious feminine, the sacred feminine. So you might be meeting new people that are reflecting you this higher heart ascension journey that you have entered into, this union energy that you've entered into, higher frequencies, higher energies, people who are, rather than toxic relationships, people who are healthy, people who are grounded, that kind of thing. So that might be some of the unexpected too. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be if you so choose to. This is your journey. Allow your journey to unfold as you desire it to, as you wish it to. What are your experiences what is it that you want to experience? But I feel like this storm warning is going to lead to breakthroughs. Everything leads to breakthroughs. It leads to revelations. It leads to transformation if we allow it, if we don't resist it. The resistance is what causes the pain. The fear is what causes the pain, because our egos are afraid of the pain, right? And so we create it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. We keep creating that loop. We keep creating that pain loop. Oh my gosh, I'm so afraid of this happening. And then guess what? It happens. And we are like, see, I told you so, right? Break free from that pattern. Allow yourself not to resist any towers, any shakeups that come through, any unexpected events that come through. And again, don't look at it like doomsday, like, oh my gosh, it's going to be terrible. Unexpected can be something really positive too, because the unexpected can lead us to new versions of ourselves, new opportunities in our lives, new versions of our connections. What is it that you want to experience? Remember that you are the empowered creator. What is it that you so choose to experience? So I feel like don't focus on the pain. Focus on the joy. Focus on letting your journey unfold in magical, amazing ways. Use affirmations if you so need to break yourself out of these spells, these loops, these traps, these consciousness traps that you might be in. I have a bunch of exercises in my book. I have a bunch of exercises available on the Collective Messages playlist and our readings to help you break free from these consciousness traps, these negative thought loops. Keep shifting your view. Keep shifting your view of the journey. Keep shifting your view of yourself. That's what is going to break you through. That's what I feel like the storm warning energy is all about. All right, let's get a little bit deeper. I'm going to do just a quick check-in today. And like I said, we're getting back into the content. We're getting back into the readings and the channelings and all the stuff that I love to do now that everything is done. So I'm really excited for what we're going to be channeling going forward and how much we're going to be channeling. They're just pointing me now to the 333 number. And 333, so the Door to Romance card is 33. And the Blossoming Abundance card is 3, and 333 is a divine number. 3 is also the unity energy. It's the Trinity. The Trinity we have always channeled is the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and God's source. It is also the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and the third energy of love that the connection creates, that your union creates, a third energy. I'm not going to go deep into that teaching now. I'm just going to mention it briefly for those of you that it might connect with. For those of you who are feeling it too. I'm going to point you guys, I'll put a link in the description box for the cosmic effect. Again, I talk about that in my book. I don't want to go deep into that now. It is the third energy of union. Your love with each other creates new worlds. And it births a new reality. And that is exactly what the Trinity energy is. Divine masculine, divine feminine coming together to birth a new world, to birth a new reality. And that's what you're doing on your ascension journey. You are essentially raising your vibration in order to create a new reality. And you're creating that within yourself. And the more that people who do that, the more we're creating a new collective reality. And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing kind of like a destruction phase of that. That's why it feels like there's so much chaos. But we don't have to feed into that chaos. We don't have to feed into that negativity. It's not about bypassing anything that we're seeing. It's holding space. We're holding the light. We're holding that higher frequency so that we can create that new world. And so that's what this Trinity energy is. That's what this 333 energy is. Okay, let's see what's going on for the Divine Masculine. Anything else that we need to know for the Divine Masculine? Where are they on their journey? And how are they feeling about the Divine Feminine? Divine Masculine. What do we need to know for the Divine Masculine? What do we need to know for the Divine Masculine? Page of Cups. Immediately, Page of Swords. Yeah, immediately with the pages, what I'm hearing is new. New, new, new. New, new, new. It's a very young energy. 3 pages. 333, 3 pages. Like I'm saying, like they brought me to the 3s, 3 pages, new, new, new. This is that rebirth energy. Page of Cups, Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles. On the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Wands and the Ace of Wands. And aces are new energy too. It's new beginnings. And I like this energy. It's a very interesting energy that we have the King of Wands coming from the page. This is a Divine Masculine that is beginning to really understand themselves and learn themselves. They've gone through this rebirth, and now it's like they're learning about themselves in a new way, in a new light. They're getting new clarity about themselves. They're understanding their world. It's almost like what I'm seeing is like a baby being born and just beginning to open their eyes and kind of blinking against the light, learning new things, learning new sounds, learning about their new world. It's because it is a new world for this Divine Masculine, because it's a new version of themselves. It's a new way of seeing themselves. And as you see yourself differently, as you love yourself differently, you interact with your world differently. And you've experienced this within yourself, Divine Feminine. As you are changing and growing within yourself, the way that you interact with the world and the relationships that you have, again, relationships not just with people, but with money, with your work, with your health, with whatever, it changes as well. That's what I feel like the masculine is going through right now. With the King of Wands here and the Ace of Wands, what I like about this is there is this determination, this fierceness, this motivation. And I feel like that is what is motivating the page to go through this process. And the page has to go through a process, right? They're at the beginning. The page has to learn to become the knight, to become the queen, to become the king, right? The knight to the queen is that inner union process to become the conscious Divine Masculine. That's this process that they're going through. And with the King of Wands here, it is a motivated energy. It's a very action-oriented energy, a very fiery energy. It is, Wands is fire energy. But this energy is a very awakened energy. I'm also seeing the Hierophant in my mind with the Ace of Wands, and that is telling me that the Hierophant is somebody going through their ascension process, someone learning higher spiritual concepts or topics, or at the very least connecting with themselves on a deeper level. Somebody going through ascension, essentially. And that's what the Ace of Wands is as well. It's an awakening card for me. It's an ascension card for me. So I feel like this is somebody who is maybe diving into spiritual topics, or spiritual topics with new understanding, fresh outlooks. It doesn't necessarily have to be spiritual. It doesn't have to be esoteric. They don't have to be like reading texts or taking classes. This is a spiritual understanding of yourself. This is a spiritual awakening. Connecting with yourself in a spiritual sense, in a spiritual essence. And we're not talking religion here. It could happen through religious outlets, for example, but we're talking of a spiritual nature. How do you connect with yourself? How do you connect with the universe? Seeing the universe with a new outlook, with a new perspective, and feeling supported by the universe as well. The universe, God, source, whatever you want to call it, that higher power, feeling connected to a higher power. That's what this energy feels like. It feels like they've gone through this rebirth and everything is new, but they're very motivated to go through this awakening now. And that's because of this heart opening. This heart opening, it's like love has flooded their system. And that's what's come about from this spiritual awakening. Love for themselves. And I'm also hearing having a place in this world. And Divine Feminine, I'm hearing you have been a guiding light for them for this process. They were not able to accept or receive that before because they were in their own distorted feminine energy. But as you're healing your feminine energy, your masculine is experiencing that as well. That's the crux of this connection. As you heal, they heal, right? It's quantum entanglement. So they've been healing their inner feminine, which is allowing their masculine energy to heal, grow, and rise. Just like you need to heal your inner masculine too, divine feminine. That's part of your process for inner union, healing both your feminine and your masculine. Well, as you heal your feminine, the masculine then takes center stage, and that's what's happening here. So I feel like there's this very motivated energy to go through this process because they're understanding now what it means to love, where they might not have understood love before, at least not in the context that you were showing them. And so through your embodiment, through your shining light, they're seeing it from a new perspective, and not only that, but they're feeling that within themselves through that open heart chakra. Incredible. Okay. Divine feminine, what's going on for you this time? What's going on for you, divine feminine? What do they want me to shuffle differently? Hold on. Okay, that feels better. Divine feminine, what do we need to know for you? We have the Page of Wands and we have the Temperance card, and I feel like you're actually supporting. So Page of Wands, you have that page energy as well. Oh, interesting. I feel like you guys just yelled at me. Like, I feel like that was coming from you guys. Look, page, page, page. But it was the Page of Wands. It's the missing page. Look at that. Page, masculine has Page of Cups, Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles. You have the Page of Wands. Amazing. You're supporting. That's immediately what I heard. You're supporting their ascension. Not by focusing on them. Not by wondering, what are they doing? Are they thinking about me? Are they feeling me as I'm feeling them? You know they are. If you really are not, if you're really in your union energy, if you are not believing in separation anymore, if you're bridging that separation energy, healing that separation energy, you know and you feel no doubt in this connection, no matter what your physical circumstances say. You could have no communication with your counterpart, but you know the unconditional love that is in your heart that you feel. The circumstances do not matter. The physical circumstances do not matter. Now, I always have to have this caveat. You have to respect the physical circumstances. You have to, in a sense, accept the physical circumstances. But you do so in healthy ways, right? So when I say that the physical circumstances do not matter, I mean that you are still trusting and believing in your intuitive knowing and what you feel in your heart. The physical circumstances do not matter when it comes to what you feel in your heart. Doesn't mean that you have to act on that. The divine feminine does not need to act on it. You have to trust the unfolding of the journey. You have to allow for the unfolding of the journey. Let your masculine be where they are. Let your masculine go through what it is that they need to go through, even if that is heavy energies, even if that is dense energies, even if that is really difficult and challenging circumstances. Whatever those circumstances are, you have to allow your masculine to go through, because that's how they ascend. The masculine ascends very differently than the feminine. They experience things very physically. They learn very physically through their physical world experiences. Divine feminine, you are shifting things energetically. You're able to heal. You're able to transmute. You do things through meditation or energy healing or journaling or whatever. You do things energetically. You heal energetically. Divine masculine experiences that physically. But they are healing. They are growing. They are ascending. And they're very motivated to do so. You're supporting them by holding that space. And what are you doing by holding the space? You're holding your inner union. Your inner union. Your balance and oneness of the masculine and feminine polarities within you. Your balance within you, your union within you, is holding the space for the masculine. So with the Page of Wands too, the more that you are focused on yourself and trusting your journey and creating for your life, the masculine is going to meet you there. And you might be trying to logically put into place, how are they going to do this? They're in this kind of situation. How are they going to ever, come together with me? You don't have to figure out those pieces. That's not up to you. That's still your ego that's trying to rationalize, that's trying to logic your way through this journey. This journey is counterintuitive. This journey is not logical. It's not meant to be. It is meant to be an intuitive experience, a soul experience. And so that's where your focus, you see how this page is kind of turned away from the masculine? Doesn't mean you have your back turned to him. It's just that you're focused on your path. And all of a sudden, you're going to see your masculine is there. He's getting his own shit together. You're getting your shit together. And guess what? Sooner or later, you're going to come together and you'll be like, oh my gosh, look at what we've created together. Look at this beautiful experience that we've created together. So, Divine Feminine, I feel like you're actually holding the space for your masculine by loving yourself, choosing yourself, focusing on what brings you joy in your journey. By what experiences are you creating? Maybe you're moving. Maybe you're building businesses or evolving your business. Maybe you are changing jobs to something that's more aligned to you, something that really lights you up, that you're really passionate about. All those things matter. All those things matter, because when you're in alignment with yourself, you're in alignment with your life, and you're in alignment with your counterpart, even if it doesn't look like it. There's more that goes on beneath the surface than we are attuned to or aware of. We can't look at the physical as the be-all, end-all. The physical is just the reflection. The physical is just the result. So tune in, keep tuning in to yourself. Okay. I think we're going to end here. It was not a quick check-in, but it was just a basic check-in. There was a lot here. Let me know how this is resonating for you. And I am just so excited to get back into a routine, get back into our channelings and our workshops and our meditations and all this stuff that we have in store. So make sure that you are checking out our Ascension Connections portal. Make sure you are checking out the Ascension Connections Sacred Membership in all 3 levels if you are interested in going deeper into understanding and transforming your own Sacred Union Ascension journey. And we will be back very, very soon with some more. Sending lots of love and lots of light.